What's that? Who's that?
Oh, here we go.
Over here!
Oh, how did they get over here?
Look at all that blood.
Well, the defense seemed to work, and I defended my settlement so that my settlers can live another day. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is your Oxhorn, and I'm here today with a final wrap-up video to my series of videos on discovering how attacks work with the code. In my last video, we solved attack frequency. That is, we figured out why certain settlements seemed to get attacked over and over and over again. And it's simply due to the fact that attacks increase as the resources in them increase. In that video, towards the end, we talked a little bit about what our percentage chance is to actually win an attack if you don't show up. And that is what I'm going to cover in this video. I'm happy to announce that it is solved. I can't take the credit. Many of you who watched my previous videos sifted through the code yourselves and found the answer for me. The reason I missed it is because the previous bit of code that I used to shoot my last video did not include anything about the defense and attack strength caps. So, let's dive into the document ourselves and take a look. Here we are in the workshop parent script file, and this section talks about the max attack strength. The final attack strength for any given attack is right here. It equals the minimum of these two numbers, either this number or this number, whichever one is lowest. Math.min means that anything within these brackets, it's going to choose the number that's the lowest. And the attack strength will choose one of these two numbers, either the food rating plus the water rating, or your max attack strength. Now up here we find that the max attack strength is 100. So for every attack, the attack strength is either going to be your food plus water or 100, whichever is lowest. So to get the weakest attacks, you need the fewest resources in your settlement. That is why small settlements with little food and water get meager attacks. Defense strength is calculated right here. Safety plus your total population or your max defense strength, whichever is smallest. So like attack strength, defense strength is the minimum between these two calculations, either safety, which is your defense rating, plus total population. So if you had 100 defense and 36 settlers, that would be a 136 safety rating, or your max defense strength, which, as calculated up here, is 100. This means that both the attack and the defense will always choose the lowest number. Your settlement will never need more than 100 minus your total population in defense. Anything more than that is wasted when it comes to an attack that is calculated off screen. Which means for me, with a population of 36 at every settlement, I never need more than 64 defense. Now it's time to recover some territory that we covered in the previous video. While the attack strength is capped at 100, the attack roll is capped at 150. Yes, the note in this code says makes high defense more likely to win, but that is just the developer talking to us. This is not part of the code. The words more likely does not mean that this number 150 is ignored. Now the attack roll is calculated by one roll of a 100-sided dice plus strength. But we already know from taking at the code earlier that attack strength is capped at 100, which means that the maximum number any attack roll could ever be is 100 plus 100. But each attack roll is capped at 150 which means this is ignored. Even if the attackers roll 200, they're capped at 150, but the defense roll is not. Like the attack roll, the defense roll equals one roll of a 100-sided die, which is this utility.randomInt, plus the defense strength. But as we just talked about, the defense strength, like attack strength, is also capped at 100. So the maximum defense you could ever roll for your settlement is 100 plus 100, 200. But unlike the attack roll, which is capped at 150, no such limiter exists for the defense roll, which means that it is possible to get a defense roll of 200. That is why this note says that high defense is more likely to win. The numbers don't lie. You don't have a 100% chance to win, but because your cap is 200 and the attack cap is 150, you're more likely to win. Let's suppose that your settlement has max defense strength. It gets the full 100. The rest of it comes down to a dice roll, a 1d100. If the die lands between 150 and 200, you automatically win. If it lands anywhere between 100 and 150, you have a chance to lose. Let's look at the attackers. Let's assume, based on your settlement resources, that the attackers have a maxed attack strength of 100. They also roll a 100-sided dice, but the difference is that their attack roll is capped at 150, which means that they will lose 50% of the time at least. But even though they have a chance to win, if they roll between 100 and 150, they also have a chance to lose. So if we already know attackers will lose 50% of their dice rolls, what's the chance that they'll win that final 50%? Well, by my figuring, it's really down to chance. Half the time they'll win, and half the time they'll lose. By my figures, a fully defended settlement has a 75% chance to win an attack from a high-strength enemy if you, the sole survivor, choose not to come to the settlement's defense. That means that if you don't defend your settlement, you will lose 25% of the time. Bear in mind that none of this takes into account situations where neither the attack strength nor the defense strength meets the 100 cap. If you have a lot of resources in that settlement and really low defense, your likelihood of losing the attack gets much higher. If you have really low resources but really high defense, your likelihood of winning the attack gets higher because attack strength is based on resources stored in your settlement workshop. I'm a visual person, that's the best that I can do. Please let me know in the comments below if I missed something or if you disagree. And there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. This series has helped me understand attacks a whole lot more. We answered a lot of questions. Let's go over them really quickly. The first thing we learned is that for some reason, installing Nuka World increases settlement attacks. This is probably due to the game finally honoring the attack probability metric based on resources in settlements. Number 2, to decrease attack chance, remove food and water from your workshops. Since the attack chance is based on food plus water, the best way to reduce the number of settlement attacks you get is to take the food and water out of your workshop and put it in some other container, like a toolbox or something like that. What I do is I keep all of my settlement's food and water at one settlement with a really low population, my player home. Everyone knows that my player home is at Kingsport Lighthouse and it has a very small population. So I keep my food and water there. Number 3, you never need more defense than 100 minus your population. Because your defense roll is capped at 200 and the attack roll is capped at 150, maxed out settlements, oh man, I'm so bad at this, have a 75% chance to win. There is no 100% chance to win unless you show up in person. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it answered some questions for you. I know it answered many questions for me. On reflection, I'm pretty bummed that there's no way to always win a settlement attack. I wish that there was a way to just build up my defense and let the settlers and turrets take care of it for me. Sadly, there is no such way. The reality is that if you want to always win, you gotta show up in person. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please subscribe for more Fallout 4 videos like this. I do videos about lore, I do videos about weapons, I do videos about quests, and of course, I do videos that lift up the hood of the game to understand the dark magic sealed within. Thank you all so very much for watching, and I will see you all soon.